Don't let go. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Chop it up! Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. The deep cut. A climb stringer? How unusual. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Slash him down. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
atu awa ya ea.
He wants
I kobe. Ifa tolo woya lo ya poyopo to wata. Papa mofo mau keto loa tolu dum.
had it not asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder. The You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai need. Only time will tell. You'll need to support. You'll need a net to... But today... Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, from this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into... One day, the land won't... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes... He lost... He says he... The tree started to die when the end of days begun. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, his friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of date, says his friend. The rope. He wants... Regardless, you... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to... He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life... He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to... Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your act. He's grateful for that. You still...
That's a spark of light!
What's there to like about...
Not as much as it...
Always making...
And you're...
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the... Regardless of who you choose, it won't be... The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded.
Flash to slash.
Sure useful. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at... They don't just let anyone see.
Sibi? La panen aginkan man. Geratna falo hutut mustugai la wude.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The wall that separates... The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life. The sea. Their kin have... He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have tells you not. Once you've... Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Look at you move. As long as you're happy about it. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade. Echoes of a long-lost past like whispers in the wind. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the learning. He thinks you should... And... He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? But you need... Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot. You promised you'd train with her before the... She'll see you at the village... She's... Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He thinks you should look...
Fruit, drip, jig, typo.
He wonders what usefulness you found.
Fruit, drip, jig, typo.
He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you did well, but he can't help but wonder what he believes. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Kannamunta.
You know she doesn't like waiting for you.
Narolut. Anora kapapom.
She won't.
Katyatop. Ferena masalapu.
They look determined. Better what?
Ole ulaga.
He asks you to
Mapa. Ole popolo maniana.
There's no way.
Mutta savana. Aripotisi.
He wants to know who you think.
Popolo maniana.
He says you're...
Kialdo male ganaru tono.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Sadurutu. Mustiki muhka.
Here's someone close.
Kuali.
He asks if you...
Me.
He will...
Waxendonia ina mahmal.
He's curious to see what you found.
Ekanis muksa uin. I arin kashu sam mushtaq bala.
Pendnam kus asana jotutupu.
Oh.
Inga valdur. Urasa durut.
Your Muma says you did.
Jojo no massa. Minä legimam. Jojo no massa man berut.
Catchy.
Jojo no massa man berut. Kan jala no pendrene senema.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your...
Kan jala no dropal.
Your Muma says you looked.
Ferena masalapu.
Rest, and you'll find strength. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your move.
Jojo no massa man berut.
Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on.
The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet.
They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulks on the loose. Becoming terminal. Right between the eyes. First.
La Surayafa te mefafa.
They've received news.
Piapo. Nebekul. Rek Bangkok yubo.
You should hurry there.
Pau yujo nukitemo ja hupikodo.
Look, an emergency box. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. No one's going to see you coming in the dark. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? That notice board, filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one. The Toxanol Corporation made this place. Well, there must be a... It's shockingly dark out there. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. Uppercutted. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. Burnt all. If you're tired, maybe find a place to rest. Let's see. Says it's time to set the outpost. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. That hit the spot, wrecked it. That twirly wheel works that drain pipe. Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Everything's clocking together. With enough keys, you'd think. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure. Once a sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job. Out of Date says he's doing his best.
Momomboso?
He...
Kozata le yayato.
That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's forebodings are just...
Kozata tuloya.
Gizmo is working on making his Mekton strong enough to endure the oxygen-deprived dead zone all the way out to the World Eater.
Koyeto koreboy.
You should...